Okay, so this next step, we're going to make what's called a hero slider. So sometimes this is called a slider, sometimes it's called a hero bar. In the Bootstrap framework, they call it a, let's just get Bootstrap. So you'll find the component here in content, components, as a carousel, so it's also called a carousel, but the very nature of being full width and at the top of this Y, it's called a hero, okay? Before we go into the next step, it's actually going to be easy for you to begin to start making the graphics. I'm not going to get you to finish them, you're just going to start. So we're going to make 4 graphics, so we have 4 sliders so you actually see your slider in action. So we're going to do that in Photoshop. I'm going to go File, New. Now, because you want full width and you want to scale appropriately, and explain why this is important later, you're going to create a new palette. It's 800 pixels. No, not centimeters, not inches, pixels. By 1920, which is high definition. And because it's for the web, you only need 72 pixels an inch. Okay? Because you want a smaller file size. So make sure it's 800 pixels, 1920 pixels. It's a landscape orientation. And it's 72 pixels an inch, and you only need 8-bit colors. In fact, now let's make it slightly higher. We will go up to 16 bits, slightly higher quality, and go create.
So you forgot to put back into the landscape.
Oh, did I? Thank you for that. Let's go again. File. It's gonna think. Where's that one I just created? Sorry, back in the landscape. So width is 1920. Correction. Width is 1920. Height is 800, resolution 72, 16 bits. Create. Okay, now for simplicity, I just want you to put colors on them. Okay, so I'm just going to color this one red. Then I'm going to File, Save As. I'm then going to save this as my working Photoshop document. So it's a PSD file. It's in my Flynn website /images. So I've actually now got a folder here. For images. So that's saving the working file I'm going to edit in, and then I'm going to export it straight away. Just do a quick export as PNG. And that will give me, and in fact what I should call it is slide 1. Save, and I'll rename this file. I'll then in the PSD again, I can go File, Save As. I'm going to call it slide 2. And it's a PSD file though. This is going to be my working file. I go Save, but this time I want to change the color. Oh, what does that mean? Save As, Images. I want to change. Oh, there's a problem there. I want to change the color to blue. And again, I'm going to paint it blue. I'm going to save it as slide PSD, slide 2. So in the end, in your folder here, you want slide 1 PNG. We'll get rid of this so it's not confusing. I want this should be, we'll close Photoshop. I'm going to, for simplicity, rename that so it's organized. So at the end, you should have 8 files. 4 of them are going to PNGs called slide 1, slide 2, slide 3. All different colors, red, blue, green, yellow. It's to make sure that your slider works before we move on. That's all I want. Then you should also have 4 corresponding Photoshop files that later on you'll go back and edit and create the design in. Okay, so this is just to set up. This is to set up before we import the slider. So everyone go off and do that now. That will be great. Thank you.